Hello, everybody. I'm going to start when I see someone on. So I want to make sure that this is broadcasting. So, hello, who's here? Say hi. I don't see anybody, so I might not be broadcasting. Anybody here? Okay, yay. Hi, Alec. Good. I'm glad to see you here, Alec. I love your post, and your baby is beautiful. So now that I know I'm live and I'm broadcasting, hi, Teresa. Good to see you. I'm Debbie Leone, if you don't already know that, and I'm here for Wednesday's Ask Coach Debbie. And so I think it was last week. No, it was maybe the week before. One of my friends, Kim, I hope you come on, Kim, posted on Facebook, said something about the topic of, if it doesn't evolve me, it doesn't involve me. And that just like, wow, it's such a powerful statement. It hit a nerve for me because I know that I have involved myself way too much in other people's business, and it prevents me from evolving. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. And because of it, because I'm so excited about this topic, I created a webinar on the exact topic. That's going to be, let's see, November 2nd at 7 o'clock Central, and I'll post the information here. And it's going to give you tools to really learn how to bust through really codependency, because that's what it is. So Deepak Chopra, one of my great teachers, it's the sixth spiritual law, the sixth spiritual law is the law of detachment. Because if we can detach from other people's dramas and other people's lives and other people's stuff, that's the path to evolution. So, because what we do instead is the opposite. We attach ourselves to trying to manage or fix or control someone else's outcome because it makes us feel worthy or valuable or in control. And it doesn't serve us, and it doesn't serve anyone else, and it blocks us from evolving spiritually. We're too attached to trying to make something happen that we have no control over. So attachments are dependencies. When we make other people's business about us, they become dependent also on us helping them, which really there's a distinction between helping and enabling. We're really enabling them, but they become dependent on us enabling them so that they don't have to be 100% responsible for themselves. And it's really easy to get caught into that whole cycle of trying and trying and trying because you want them to have a specific outcome, and you want them to, you want their lives to look the way you think it should. And so you do everything that you think you can to try to make that happen, and it doesn't work. So dependencies, attachments, making other people's business about us blocks the natural flow of pure consciousness. And when our pure consciousness is blocked, there's no access to our creativity, to possibilities. And so from that space, we can't evolve. We can't move forward because we're stuck in the past and we're attached. We're holding on to something and we're trying to control. So looking at my notes here. Managing others is an attachment to a feeling of security. So just think about this for a minute. Consider somebody in your life right now that maybe you're trying. Maybe it's a son or a daughter. So often as parents, we're so trying to manage their life. So maybe it's a son or a daughter. Maybe it's a friend or someone in your life. So just consider somebody right now who you want them to be a certain way, and you're trying all kinds of tactics to help them and kind of be responsible for their life. Consider how that feels and notice why you're doing it. Consider, why is it that you're doing that? I'll tell you right now that it's fear-based, because there's a part of you that doesn't feel secure about who you are. So we try to make other people's stories and dramas about us so that we can feel secure as to who we think we need to be. It's an illusion of security that really is an illusion. It's not real. And we do it because we want to have a sense of belonging. Well, if I can help this person, if I can fix them, if they can feel good because of what I told them or did for them, then that means they're going to accept me. That means I'm going to be loved, and I think I have a sense of belonging. Hi, Dolores. Hi, all you guys. So what happens is this is an illusion. This never becomes real because you can't make anyone happy for a sustainable amount of time. They have to do the work themselves. And so until you learn to do something different and allow yourself to let go and evolve, you're going to continue to chase those types of circumstances in relationships where you're still trying to control and fix them, and it'll leave you with frustration. So what needs to happen is you've got to be able to let go and live in uncertainty. And as humans, our egos don't like uncertainty. We like to know the outcome. We like to know what's going to happen and what we can do to make that happen. But the uncertainty, allowing yourself to be in the mystery and letting go. I mean, think about when you're holding onto those monkey bars as a kid. When you let go, there's freedom there, right? That's what this will create, is emotional freedom. And in that emotional freedom, that's where the possibilities lie. And that creates a space for you to evolve spiritually and bring that attention back onto yourself. We're so focused on other people. So let me give you an example. I've been working with a client who, we've been talking exactly about this topic. She said, gosh, I'm realizing how much time I spend on trying to help my family, having to listen to their dramas, and just always being there for them. And so we explored that, and I helped her to really look at what was driving that. And she came up with some really powerful insights. She really got to see that her main reason is that she was so needing approval from their family and many of her friends, because she felt like if she didn't continue to try and help them and manage them, that they would abandon her. They wouldn't be in her life, and that she would feel unaccepted and she would feel judged. So she was so attached and so dependent on managing those people in her life that she was feeling really depleted. And so after a few weeks of doing this internal work with her, she was really able to notice how much time she was spending involving herself in other people's process. And since then, she's feeling so much lighter and freer. Let me see what you guys are saying. It's been 17 years since my 3 children cut me out of their lives, and it's only the past couple of years I feel happy and free of that pain. Yeah, because at some point in time, Dolores, thanks for sharing that, you chose to let go and stop trying to fix. I can so identify with that. Christine, you look so great. Love the color. Thanks, Christine. So good to see you guys on here. Okay, so I totally lost my train of thought. Thanks to you, Christine. So when you detach, Dolores, that you can identify with this. When you choose to detach, as difficult as it might be, that's when your spiritual evolution begins to accelerate. Because when you're attached, it decelerates. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you in that same pattern of trying to seek that external gratification and acceptance from other people. So what do you think it is that drives you to do that? Anybody have an answer? What has you want to help other people in ways that you see that it's really not your responsibility? What has you feeling that sense of obligation? Any responses, thoughts? So as you're responding, hopefully, I'll share with you a few of the bullet points I posted on my website about my webinar around this. So see if you can identify any of these for yourself. Valuing the approval of others more than valuing ourselves. Having an obsessive need for approval. feeling dependent on other people's reactions. So in other words, how many times do you tell yourself, I can't do that because so-and-so is going to be upset with me, right? Or I can't tell them the truth because I'm going to be judged. Worry about judgment. You avoid conflict. So these are some of the behaviors or reasons why we stay attached to other people's stuff, because it's fear. Go figure. It's my word. It's fear. You're afraid of losing that person. You're afraid of a conflict. You're afraid of them judging you. So you repeat more and more and more of the same. And if you notice, how is it working? It's not. You can't make them happy. They have to figure that out for themselves. And by continuing this pattern, guess what? You're doing them a disservice, because you are enabling them to sit back and not take 100% responsibility for yourselves. So what needs to happen is you've got to really be able to identify that fear, notice how it's driving you, and step outside of it and do something different. And that's what my webinar is about. Dolores, being a people pleaser, and yes, the fear of loss again. Yeah. So back to my client, the fear of loss. Thanks for reminding me, Dolores. When she was talking about how much she helps her friends and how depleted she feels, and she says, but I can't just eliminate my friends. And so we took a look at that, and I asked her, so can you identify what a friend is? And she said, well, it's someone who it's like a give and receive. It's a partnership. She's listening to me and I'm listening to her, and we're supporting each other. And so I asked her, so is that the case with this particular friend that you're talking about? She's like, no, it's always me listening to her. She doesn't even know what's going on in my life, and she doesn't even care. And so she really got to look at her definition of a friend and what her new definition needed to be, so that she could make it okay to at least decrease her interactions with that person or eliminate it, because she's not a friend. She's not a true friend. So it's really that fear, noticing that, well, this person's going to leave me or they're going to judge me. Well, okay, what if that happens? Hi, John. In my book, I Am Fearless, on page 97, my topic. So my book is I Am Fearless, the 12 elements of fearless living. And one of the elements is surrender. So in order to stop involving yourself with other people's stuff, you've got to be willing to surrender. Surrender to what you have no control over. And the first piece of that is realizing that you don't have control over them. Parents, you think you have control over your kids? Well, you do at some level, but you can't control what they decide, what they believe, what they interpret. So it's really allowing yourself to accept that you have very little control over other people. And we don't like that feeling, because then we feel valueless. So it requires surrender. Actually, I'm going to go into one of the questions that somebody posed to me this week, because it has to do with this whole topic of involving ourselves in other people's crap. So one of my clients asked, why is it so hard to let go? What can we gain by losing control? So consider that, you guys. Why is it so hard to let go of that relationship that is not serving you? Why is it so hard to let go of some of the behaviors that have you trying to control situations? Anybody have an answer to that? So on page 97, I've got some examples of beliefs about surrender. And I'm going to read some of these examples, because chances are you're believing the opposite. So one of them is to believe that I can be flexible and present in the moment. When we're trying to control something because we're afraid, we're not flexible, we're attached, and we're not present to the moment. We're thinking about something that happened in the past. We're concerned about repeating somebody else doing the same thing. We're trying to change the behavior. So we're not present to what's going on in this moment to know what choice to make. Another example of a belief about surrender is I can tap my inner wisdom with ease. Now consider that. When you're trying to fix someone, enable them, being codependent, trying to manage their feelings, notice how much effort it takes for you. It takes a lot of effort. You're trying and trying and trying. And the reason it feels like so much effort is because you're not getting the outcome you want. Another one is I can be more flexible with my thoughts and emotions. So again, when we're attached to someone else's experience and when we're involved in their drama, we're not flexible in our own thoughts and emotions. What we're thinking instead is, oh, I got to do this. They need to know this. I have to give them my opinion on this. They're not doing this right. We're judging them, actually. So surrender requires being totally present in the moment and allowing yourself to be flexible in that place of what I said, pure potential and possibilities. Another one is I'm not distracted by my ego, my small-minded thoughts. When we're holding on to something or someone, trying to manage or fix, that's the ego, that's the fear. Because if I don't make this happen, then blah, blah, blah. So we're attached to those thoughts. And when you're attached, you can't see or experience anything else. Okay, one more. I can step out of fearful or controlling tendencies. So when we surrender, we believe that we can step out of those fearful tendencies. We can stop and shift gears and let go. So surrender, why is it so hard to let go and surrender? Read page 97 in my book. Well, read the whole chapter. No, read the whole book. And notice why you're holding on. The reason you're holding on is because you're afraid. You're afraid something bad is going to happen. So notice that. Hi, Chris. So then she asks, what can we gain by losing control? So consider that. First of all, what is it that you're able to control? We're so afraid of losing control. And when we're in that place of losing control, how much in control are we? We're not. So imagine what that would feel like. If you consider the person in your life right now that you want so much to fix, or you just wish that they would change, or that person in your life that you're so tired of listening to their dramas. Consider where you're at in that relationship and imagine today you decided to completely let go of trying to help that person, to let them figure it out themselves. Oh, how much more internal space would you have inside? What would that feel like? And how much more attention could you put onto yourself? When you put that attention, when you have that space, that's when you can spiritually evolve. Because when you're focusing on being involved in other people's crap, you're avoiding yourself. You're avoiding the possibilities for yourself. So what you can gain is all of that. What you can gain is spiritual evolution. Second person asked me the question, so this is kind of different than the topic we're on, but how do you turn anger into compassion? Oh my gosh, I had to do that just this past week with the situation, my personal situation, and I felt really angry. And when we're angry, what do? We contract, we want to be reactive, we want to lash out, we want to blame. And too often most of us really don't know the healthiest thing to do with our anger. So how do you turn that anger into compassion? Well, let's use yourself as an example and just consider right now, consider someone in your life or some circumstance that has you really, really angry. Ideally, think of some person that you're really angry with. Okay? And just allow yourself to feel it. Be present to the feeling and what it feels like in your body. Consider it. Just spend a moment there. Actually, before I explain this, I'm actually taking you through the process. So I guess that's what's supposed to happen. So as you're doing this, maybe close your eyes and consider that person that you feel angry towards. Notice where you feel that anger in your body. I feel it in my chest most of the time, sometimes in my gut. Notice where that anger lives. And as you do, just allow yourself to name it. Maybe, as you be with it, maybe it's not anger, maybe it's resentment or frustration. So just feel it and name it. And as you do, just send some breath to that part of your body where you're feeling that anger. Breathe into it. And if you feel any resistance, just let it be there. And begin to notice what happens as you bring attention and breath to that area. Just breathe it in. And see if that area of your body, the place where that anger resides, begins to soften. And then let that go. And then I want you, perhaps with your eyes closed, it seems to be easier to do this with your eyes closed. Bring to mind that person that you are angry with. So just close your eyes and just imagine them being in front of you, being in their energy, noticing what they look like. Notice what it feels like to be in their energy. And then as you do, I want you to imagine your body is going to merge into theirs so that you're standing in their shoes. So in other words, you're going to begin to channel their energy. Just allow yourself to feel what it feels like to be in their shoes. Just spend a moment there practicing. Noticing their experience and what has driven them to have you feeling anger. And as you channel this person, as you're standing in their shoes, notice, really allow yourself to go deep and notice, trust that you can feel it because you can. Allow yourself to feel what they're feeling. Perhaps they're feeling fearful. Perhaps they're feeling alone. Perhaps they're feeling wrong, less than. And whatever you get as you channel this person, breathe into that. And as you do, notice too what softens in you as you can begin to better understand what they're going through, what they're feeling, their pain, and their suffering. Because the reality is that their suffering is yours. So spend as much time there as you need to and then open your eyes. And so this practice can be, it's very, very powerful. Like I said, I used it the other day and I was really able to see and understand how much fear this person was living in to have to take this action that had me feeling really, really angry. And it allowed me to open my heart and really, really better understand and have lots more compassion for this person. It doesn't make the behavior acceptable or that I approve of it, but it helped me shift from anger into compassion. And that, you guys, is the opportunity for your healing in any relationship. Again, to not condone the behavior as right, but to really help you understand that the actions they are taking or have taken, it's because they're suffering. And so for me, that allows me more space for compassion. So I hope that helps answer the question about how to turn anger into compassion. What time is it? Oh my gosh. So let me summarize. Anybody have any questions around what I've talked about? again, if it doesn't involve me, it doesn't involve me. That's my challenge for you this week, to really use that phrase. I love it. To remember and to notice how you're involving yourself in others people's drama that is none of your business, including family. So that means, you know, the first step is really becoming aware of how much energy and time you spend on involving yourself in other people, you know, really noticing it, and then being committed to doing something different. And so if you want to do something different, my webinar is on November 2nd. It's on my website. I'll post the link here. It's from 7 to 8:15. We're going to do it via live video, via Zoom, where we can see you and interact. It's a virtual classroom. And I'm going to be giving you some tools and techniques. We'll be doing some worksheets and having some interaction so that you can leave really feeling equipped, that you can shift some of these relationships so that you're no longer enabling and being codependent, so that you can put that energy on your own spiritual evolution. So let's see what else. Here's some of the things I posted on my website. See if you can identify with any of these things because this is what I tell myself. The phone rings and you see it on caller ID and you tell yourself, oh my God, it's not them again. I so don't want to listen to their whining. Oh, why do I have to listen to this? You ever say that to yourself? Or she or he has nobody. I've got to listen to them. I just got to help. I've got to be the one to help them figure this out. They have nobody else. Or why is it that I'm always being asked to help, but nobody helps me? Or I can't tell them the truth. They're going to be hurt. It would make them feel bad. Or I can't imagine letting go of this relationship because everybody's going to think I'm a horrible person. That's when we involve ourselves in other people's stuff, and it's all sabotaging, and it all decelerates our spiritual evolution. So I hope this helped. Love seeing all you guys. Hope to see you on my webinar, and I will see you next week, if not sooner. All right, have a great day. Bye.